6 best rules. So Emma, why don't you give me one that you know?
Multiplication is repeated addition.
So it is repeated addition. I think that was what Can and Camden were talking about, right?
Yeah,
That's what you guys were talking about? Good. Mateo.
Is there anything times 0, 0?
So
Any number.
any number times 0 equals 0. Another rule, Jennifer.
Any number times itself, the any number is any number. Any number times 1 is that any number.
Can I just write that?
Yeah.
Is that the example you're talking about? Good.
Yeah.
Andrew.
I guess 3 times 5 equals 5 times 3.
What property is that? You remember that from last year?
Don't remember the name, but
Anybody remember that property? Mayan. Commutative property. Good. So we'll write commutative property.
you should write down all the properties in that case. Well, there's a lot of
So your example was 3 times 5 equals 5 times 3. Another one, Colin.
Opposite of division,
What do you mean by opposite? Can you explain that a little bit more?
like 3 times 3 equals 9, and 3 divided by 3 equals 1.
So how are those opposite? Can you explain?
Because,
You're not wrong, but I'm just like, trying to have you explain it. How are 9
I'm not
and
sure
1
how to
opposite?
explain it, but that's how I put it.
It was a good idea.
Well,
Can
I-
anyone help him explain that? I always say that it's the opposite, but what does that really mean then?
It means like when you divide, you get smaller, and when you multiply, you get bigger.
Okay,
But it's certainly
so in a way they're opposites because one makes it bigger, one makes it smaller.
kind of like addition and subtraction.
So those are opposites too?
Yeah, that's
Okay, why else is it opposite, Arian? Oh, who can explain the opposite thing? I'm still stuck on that a little bit. Keon.
Because since clearly addition and subtraction are opposites, because addition is adding and subtracting, But since multiplication is repeated addition, division is repeated subtraction, so it makes them opposites.
Which are opposites?
It makes multiplication and division opposites because division is repeated subtraction, like multiplication is repeated addition.
Okay, so when we split into groups, we're going to have to work on that one a little bit because I agree, but we need to have a better definition of that, I think. All right, another rule. Arian. It's the M in PEMDAS. So that's pretty much a definition. Okay, but you are wrong. Mateo. So any number times 10 equals what?
That number plus
That number plus another 0. Another rule, Tara.
Zero is your best friend.
Why?
Because it's easy.
That's more of an opinion. Why would that be though?
Because you can just add the 0 like when you're multiplying 20 by 40, you just said 2 times 4 equals 8, and then
So kind of like this rule with the zeros, adding.
yeah, you do the
Any other rules we can think of? Think about, we're kind of missing what it looks like visually. Like if you were to draw it. Can you think of a rule that involves drawing, Alex?
Well, if you have a square and it has square, tinier squares inside it, if you want to count those squares, you can just count the sides, well, the height and the width.
So
array.
it's like a square or rectangle when you count the squares. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying like you can multiply the sides and you get the answer of how many.
Okay, so in a square or rectangle, when you multiply the sides together, you get the answer, solution, product. Andrew?
It's kind of like with 2 times 3. It's 2 rows of 3. 3 rows of 2.
good, so that's another way of thinking about it. What about when you multiply numbers? Can you break them into different numbers and still get the same product?
Yeah.
What is that called? Does anybody remember what that's called?
Oh, I don't know what it's called.
Tommy, what is that called?
Breaking down.
Breaking down method. Is that a rule that works all the time?
No.
Okay, so what if we had, for example, 8 times 6? How would you use the breakdown method to solve that problem? Andrew?
I guess 4 times 2 times 6?
4 times 2 times 6, is that the same answer?
Yes.
So 8 times 6 is,
4 times.
what's 8 times 6? 48, and then Andrew said
4 times 2 times
4 times 2 times 6 is 48. That's breakdown method, we're gonna write that down.